Hi, my name is John Orsborn, and this video is for Education Technology 628 for the University of Alaska Southeast. Today I'm going to talk to you about PowerPoint presentations in the classroom. PowerPoint has been around for a long time, and it's a wonderful business tool. However, if you've ever been in business, you know when you sat down in a meeting and you've seen a PowerPoint presentation, you knew it was going to be full of Excel spreadsheets, graphs, and slides moving in and out, and it could last for hours. Those applications are pretty much gone today. In the classroom, PowerPoint is used less because of the advent of whiteboards. However, PowerPoint and a whiteboard is a wonderful tool if it's used correctly. When we talk about PowerPoint in the classroom, we're really talking about something for students to look at. If you're using PowerPoint to teach the lesson, you've really gone beyond its uses. Students aren't going to pay attention. They're not going to read. It's a good tool for visual information. However, there are applications when you want things written on the slide so that they can copy them into science notebooks or writing notebooks, whatever the class is for. For science, the application is greater than it's going to be for, let's say, reading or writing. You really want the students to do that with a book at their desk or a big book in front of the classroom. You also really have to remember who is your audience. If you're using a PowerPoint presentation for a kindergarten class, you're really going to use pictures more than anything. You want the visual stimulation. If you're talking 6th to 8th grade, you're going to have more information on the slide than you would for a younger grade. For all applications, this is going to be for a 5th grade science class on igneous rock. If we look at the first slide, it says the ins and outs of igneous rock, and it has the volcano, and it's got the magma chamber and the dike coming up and the sills coming off the side. It shows the lava and the crater. It's a good opening slide. I don't recommend using slide transitions in the classroom. Really, it's over and beyond what's needed. All you have to do is click to move through your slides. As we go to the next slide, we notice that it has a picture. It's more or less a cartoon of a drawing of a volcano, and it says volcanic or extrusive rock and platonic or intrusive rock. Volcanic and platonic are the scientific names, and for a 5th grade classroom, I would expect them to know volcanic and platonic versus intrusive and extrusive. If this was a kindergarten class, I would say inside rock and outside rock. I wouldn't confuse them with more names than we need. As we look at this slide, we've got the picture. It says igneous rock has two forms, intrusive and extrusive. And then on the side, it talks about igneous rock is from molten rock, and it's hot, and it's inside the earth. Really, all this information right here is wasted information. I would say delete that information and move on. Just use the slide and the title and talk about the information that you wanted to give. If we go to the next slide, it has the same picture, and it's talking about the two forms, only now we're talking about volcanic and platonic. That should have been covered in that first slide. So in all reality, this slide here we can remove. After removing that slide, we move on to the next one, and here we have a great picture. It shows the lava flows, it shows the domes, it shows the tephra, it shows all the scientific names. However, when we look here in the meat, those scientific names aren't shown. They're really not there. Again, this is another one where I would throw out this information, and if I wanted, I could put in a sound bite if I wanted them to hear what the lava flow sounded like. Let me show you how to put in a sound bite. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a separate file, and I'm going to put everything inside that file. If I have to move this presentation from my computer to another computer, I want it accessible, and if I don't take the soundbite with me, it will not be there when I try to play it. So here I've saved it in this presentation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop. So all I'm going to do is click on it, I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to drop it on the file. Now that that soundbite is here, I can save it anywhere I want. I can move it down, I can move it up, I can put it wherever I want to put it. And because I have this extra space here, I could actually put another picture if I really wanted to of the same type of thing, maybe a close-up of the sill here coming up, or the lava exploding, or maybe just talk about specific things. But all in all, when I play this presentation, all I have to do is click here on the soundbite, and it's going to play the volcano sound that I've included. The next slide I have is really a continuation of the first slide. I've got this cool picture, but really I'm just talking about the same things I would have talked about before. And again, I would delete this slide. I really don't need it. For me, I think this would be a great point to put in a new slide, and I would like to include a video file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to locate the space between those, and I'm going to say add new slide. I'm going to change my layout because really I want to put a video in there, and I'm going to want to title this slide. So I think I'm going to title it Lava Flows Throughout the World. When I put the new title in, I notice that it's too big, and that's easy to size. All we have to do is highlight and change the font size. A 44 is a good size to fit in there. So now we want to put a video in. In order to put a video, I need to have a developer mark on the ribbon. And since I don't, I'm going to show you how to do it, and it's really easy. Click on the Office button and go down to PowerPoint. When you open it, right on the first bar where it says Popular, it says Show Developer tab in Ribbon. I'm going to check it and click OK. And now I notice that I have a developer button up on the ribbon. I don't have to save, I don't have to do anything else. It's really easy to use. So before I go in to put my YouTube video, I need to make sure that I have everything in place. So now that I have my blank slide, I'm going to click on Developer, and I'm going to go here to More Controls, and I'm going to open it. Under More Controls, I'm looking for Shockwave. If I hit S on my keyboard, it will take me right down to the S's. I can find Shockwave Flash Object and click OK. I'm going to get this little cross. You see the cross on the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a box with that cross. And it doesn't matter how big the box is or where it is, because I can resize it later. But it should look like an envelope. Now that we have the envelope, I need to go in and I need to put my video. So I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go to Properties, and I'm going to go here to where it says Movie, and then I'm going to click right on the edge. Now in order to find my movie, I have it loaded in the back, so I can bring it forward, and I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to go right back to my PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to paste it right next to movie. Now when you look at it, it has the youtube.com/watch?v. I'm going to remove the watch?v, and then after the V there's an equal sign, and I'm going to remove that and replace it with a backslash. And that's all I have to do in order to embed the movie. So then all I need to do is close it. There's no save, there's no OK. You just close it and your movie's there. I know right now you don't see it, but it's there. So in order to know that I have it, I'm going to go down to Slideshow, and I'm going to open, and my movie will pop up. Now that I have my movie, I can go back into design mode, and I can size my box to whatever I need. Now my movie's ready to go, and I can move that box anywhere I want. I can take it anywhere I want on the screen. So really I just want it centered, best I can get it centered, because I'm going to want them to watch that movie. So after the movie's played, I'm going to go back through the slides and I'm going to continue on. When you have classrooms full of kids, of course manipulatives are the best tools that you can have on a table for students to work with. If you don't, PowerPoint is a great tool to use pictures so they can see what those things would look like. In this case, it's rocks. I want them to be able to see the different types of rocks for intrusive and extrusive volcanic rocks. As I move through the presentation and I create my slides, I want my slides to be easily read. If I look at this slide, I have two pictures. For me, they say the same exact thing, but for a student, it could be confusing. If I want them to understand batholiths and laccoliths and sills and dikes and how they create the mountain ranges that we know today, really, I'm going to want to remove one of these pictures. This is one of the easiest pictures that I think a fifth grader could see and understand when you're teaching batholith and laccolith and mountain ranges and how they're used. As I move all the way through the presentation, I get down to the end, I have my questions, and I'm through. I've created a PowerPoint presentation that's easy for students to understand. Like I said before, when you have slides that are transitioning in and out and they look like shutters and they're shooting in and they're shooting out, that's all neat and it's cool and it's great, but that's not really what I want my students to get. I want my students to be able to use something that's a tool. I want them to get something out of it. I want them to be able to use it maybe next year or use it to study. I can print my PowerPoint sheets and I can give them slide sheets, which it will show 6 slides on a page, or I can print them per slide. It doesn't really matter. It's really the information that I want them to have, to be able to study, to be able to reflect on. Like I said in the beginning, whiteboards are the new tool in the classroom, and a lot of teachers are moving away from PowerPoint and they're strictly using whiteboards. If you really look at the PowerPoint presentation, it's great on a whiteboard, simply because you don't have to embed anything in a PowerPoint presentation anymore. You can embed it into a whiteboard. When it comes to using this in a classroom as a manipulative, there's more chances that a student can come up to a board, can move things around, can work in and out of a slideshow presentation, and still have the effect of the slideshow presentation. Too many slides, it gets boring. It needs to be a minimum number of slides, and the information has to be pertinent to the topic. Once you start talking about things that don't really matter anymore, but you have cool pictures or cool effects, you're really taking away from the message that you want to get out. So for me, PowerPoint slides are still a very active tool in the classroom. Some people don't like them. I really do, and I see their uses coming forward as a tool that's going to be used in the future. If you like them, great. If you don't, I understand. But remember, PowerPoint will be around forever, and it's an easy tool to use. Thank you.